Zest is in, where resilience begins, not fixing the cracks.
Hello everyone and welcome to Zest is in with me, Shel, the podcast that will take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. Today I have an absolute sweetheart on my podcast. Her name is Harmon. She is a faith-led women's business performance strategist who helps CEOs streamline life and business so they can work less, earn more, and truly feel themselves. What more could we want? Through her productivity to thrive bootcamp, Annie empowers women to reclaim time, reduce overwhelm, and create systems that align with their vision, inviting us to ask, what would it feel like to lead your business with more clarity, calm, and freedom? And if you feel called, I invite you to share a little love by helping amplify powerful voices like you'll hear today of Annie's, by subscribing to the channel and sharing that love so we can reach many more hearts and minds. Thank you, thank you, thank you if you have done so already. And may this episode bring you the clarity, inspired focus, and embodied confidence that you may not know that you are truly still seeking. Welcome, 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 Annie.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me on your show.
You're so welcome. And there's so much I want to ask you, but I guess what's first coming to mind is where did the idea of the boot camp come from? Because I think the traditional, because I feel like what your description is and the word boot camp, sometimes the traditional way we think of a boot camp is very much different to what I'm imagining your boot camp to be like. I'm imagining it to have like maximum impact, but also this beautiful grace, flow, and clarity. So I'd just love to know more about that.
Yes, the boot camp came about by putting together feminine cycle syncing and productivity, because most of the people out there that are talking about cycle syncing are talking about hormones and diet. I'm talking about matching it to your business systems and reducing decision fatigue and reducing the number of hours you work a week by streamlining your business systems. So I really look at the business side and try to create with the owner a business and life they love by marrying these two facets together.
I love that. And I can imagine that this would be a highly personalized and unique journey for each client as well. Obviously,
Yes.
there might be some crossovers and similarities, but generally, this is a very personal, not just inward journey, but outward journey for ourselves, and really just connecting way beyond just like, time and scheduling and days of the week. Like, this is really what I'd love you to expand on this more, but this is really using your time, your energy at the optimal peak that it's performing. So I'd love you to share more about that.
Yes, what we do is we do a time audit to make sure that we know your personal energy map. And then we figure out your events, your decisions, your business systems, and we marry those two so that they run smoothly like a well-oiled machine. We were raised in a masculine life where everything was linear. You pushed, you hustled, and you worked harder to achieve. Now we're getting into the feminine cycle where we can actually use our cycle to gain momentum and really get a hum going to our business that just gives you a tickle inside because you never thought it would be a love that you could love your business as much as you love your life.
I love that. And obviously, particularly thinking about entrepreneurs that are doing their own business, because I recognize and respect that, when sometimes you are in someone else's business or you are employed, we don't, unfortunately, still, because hopefully the times will change and get with it, but with this, people are still very much stuck in these programs. But particularly females. And we are going to talk gender in this because it is particularly linked to the woman's body and cycles, would you say?
Yes,
Yeah.
it definitely is.
Thank you. Because, like, obviously, masculine and feminine isn't male and female, but it's just right now it is important that we are just really actually being addressing the feminine hormones in the body, and just making that distinction, I think. But what I love that you mentioned is, I think, and I definitely can say I'm guilty for this, when I guess transitioned from, very much most of my life being in either corporate or, someone else's business. It was like, this is the time I want you in, this is the time you finish, this is the time you eat, you know, like, okay, some jobs
Exactly.
have slight flexibility, but on the whole, it's like, this is your lunch, this is this, this is this. And I noticed that when I then started my own business, I was still programmed in that way, not knowing it. Like, not so much of like the lunch, but I noticed that I was still, what you're going to so beautifully touch on, working the same every single week, doing the same thing or daily, and there wasn't much ebb and flow. Because I think this is
Right.
also a really beautiful thing that I'm now connecting to, and also having that kindness and that love and that compassion for myself, which I think you were so beautifully touch on, when there are weeks where, we do need that rest. We and then there's other weeks where we are just on fire. We are just, in our ultimate energy, if you like. And so
Right.
I love that you're going to expand more on that, because even down to like important meetings or events, like what you so beautifully said. Of course, if the event is organized by someone else and you want to be there, it's different. But we have the power to create the day, the time.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
schedule it so that you don't have to make a lot of decisions when you're at the low end of your cycle. And when you're at your high end, that's when you give it your gusto and you really go
Mm.
after the events. You speak in arenas, you start new projects, and you really get going. I call that your autumn because you're harvesting
Mm.
your garden that you've grown all month long
Yeah.
by, you know, sowing your seeds and cultivating the garden and getting rid of the weeds and then really going
Mm.
for your events, your uh, transitions, and your new projects
I
at the
love
end.
that. I really love that, because even thinking it back to some speaking events I've done, yes, the outcome is still the same, because I know how I want to represent myself. I know how I want to show up. But it's interesting when you say this, because there's certain times where the energy is so much more, like you have to give so much more, because like what you said, maybe that was a cycle where it wasn't so ease and flow, whereas there's other times where it almost was effortless. But if you looked physically at the two outcomes, they didn't look very different, but they felt very different.
Right,
um
right.
yeah.
The
So
energy within is
yeah.
what you're trying to manage. And um, you start with the winter and you move from that. That's where you're decluttering, you're um,
Mm.
putting together your next project plans. And then you move into the springtime, the follicular phase, and you plant your seeds. You
Mm,
really flush out your plans and map it to the energy stream where you're going to be full out so
yeah.
you can take advantage of the autumn where you're harvesting everything that you've planted and sown during summer and spring and really give it the gusto and go for
Mm,
it and really achieve more.
I
It
love that.
allows you to reduce the number of hours you're working, and it allows you to increase your decisions that are good and feel good, not just
Mm,
are good decisions, but really feel good and in flow.
I
And
love that.
that's, you know, the happiness project always talks about getting in flow. And um, that's part of it is staying in flow throughout the whole month so that you can achieve more and do
Yeah.
more.
Thank you so much for touching on that because that was one thing I just really wanted to clarify. And I'm sure everyone is following this, but just to make sure there was real clarity because I think, often when we talk about the seasons, people can start getting a little lost in the physical times we call the seasons. But what you're so
Right,
beautifully saying is this is each month,
right.
which is powerful. And I think, just as a visual representation of that, already we have that beautiful foundation of what usually winter looks like, what spring looks like, what autumn. But then connecting with an incredible woman like you that's taking that and really like embodying it and like I'm already imagining like the month and like different colors, like I'm very color coordinated, and I just
Yeah,
think it's, yeah, it just feels so empowering. Feels really, and I guess the beauty of it as well is it will change each month as well, change slightly. So it's not that static again of like routine. It will be based on, and again, obviously transitions in our lives, our own body and our own cycles. So I think it's really powerful what you're talking about. Thank you.
yeah, it is excellent. The the feelings that an entrepreneur has at the end when they have a blueprint and a map of their energy and they understand how to mesh everything together and make it a smooth running machine that fits them because every cycle, every woman or feminine has a cycle and it's different from everyone else. So you have to map it to her cycle,
Yeah.
um, not just figure out, oh, well, you're menstruating. This is when your energy is going to be low and you need to declutter and reset
Mm,
because it doesn't work that way.
mm.
So it's
Yeah.
exciting.
And I love that you from what I'm hearing, like correct me if I'm interpreting this wrong, but I love what you're mentioning is that isn't like a do nothing. There's things you can be doing in that season that are for the optimal benefit of that cycle.
Right.
Like planting those seeds or like what you say, decluttering, going through clearing and cleansing or whatever it is. So I think that's really beautiful as well because again, when I'm thinking about it, it's kind of like each week is mumble jumbled into all this, you're clearing that, you're doing this, and yeah, it some weeks based on the cycle are exhausting. Other
Right.
weeks you feel like in the flow of it.
Right. Everyone
And
talks about time blocking and doing things in batches, and you always do the same things in that batch.
mm,
Marketing, sales, um, team meetings, things of that nature. Well, if you map it to your energy,
mm,
those things will be put into your schedule at times when your energy is high
yeah,
so that you can be more robust and really um, claim your fame
yeah. Oh, I
by
love that.
um, being in line with your cycle. And it's not only for people that are menstruating, even people in menopause or
Yeah.
postmenopause have a cycle still. And
Yeah.
that's, there's more and more people in business today that can utilize this process.
Amazing. And just touching on that, would you say that the advice, again, I know it's all very personal to the person that you're connecting with, but would you say that there's a big difference as well in obviously um, when menopause comes, like does it even shift even more? And if women aren't aware of this, like is another layer or
Yes, it does shift,
mm,
and it follows more the lunar cycle
ah,
because there's the pull of the moon, and
mm,
it affects the hormones, and um, that has to be taken into account with their energy. So you have to remap your energy levels for a menopause woman, and then go through the process again of mapping it to your business and your business processes so that you
amazing.
can again gain the 10 hours and reduce decision fatigue and
Mm.
create a business that you love.
And this is what I love that you're and when you say that 10 hours, that's a week, isn't it? You're saying like
Yes, a
that's
week.
huge.
It
That's
is.
huge. Um, yeah, please.
Yeah, it turns out that when you're in flow, things happen faster and more steady and with better uh, completion. They're more productive. So
Mm,
they just gain the hours and they look back over the week and they say, wow,
yeah.
I didn't realize I had that much of a problem before, but in seeing it now, I've helped over 100 women do this.
Beautiful.
So it is wonderful to see, and really, I enjoy working with women a lot.
Amazing, amazing. And may I ask, like, how long, like, either you don't have to share your own personal details, whatever you feel like sharing, but either your own experience or an experience of a client. Again, you don't need to share details of like um, a real breakthrough that, or even just a general common breakthrough that you are noticing with these women that's showing a real clear like before and after in their lives.
Well, there was a person that came to me and their cycle was irregular.
Mm,
They had multiple menses. And what happened is when we mapped her energy, we found that her energy was also cycling faster.
mm,
So we slowed down her cycle and really focused on putting her decisions in a particular area.
mm.
And that actually shifted her whole cycle so
Wow.
that it was smoother. It was still sine wave, but it was smoother, and she accomplished more. And she says, wow,
Wow.
that was really neat that she was able to then get a clean cycle and apply it to her business and save time and
Mm.
uh, create a life that was more manageable.
Mm. I think what I'm really hearing here as well, more than just the 10 hours, and it's actually, I believe, a really key factor for our mental well-being as well, because in
Oh,
those times where we are still juggling and trying to perform at the same pressure we've often placed on ourselves, we are more hormonal, we are emotional, we might be a bit more snappy, things like that. And so ultimately, if we have like what you so beautifully expressed, everything almost happening in that kind of wrong cycle for the person, that could equally, yes, you can achieve it, but equally it might not be achieved in the way that makes you feel really good about yourself.
Right.
Whether
It
that's,
reduces
yeah,
stress
sorry?
and it reduces stress.
Yes, yes.
It really smooths out your whole month.
Mm,
It makes it flow and you enjoy things because it's almost like giddiness that happens with a client that they suddenly feel in control
mm,
in a way that they've never felt before.
yeah, amazing. I love that. And you know, I think sometimes it's always taboo talking about periods and stuff, but at the end of the day, it if we can't speak about natural things to do with females, then you know, there's something wrong. So just knowing from like different kind of birth control, as we know as well, our body responds very differently to this and being off it equally. And I know, not just personally for myself, but other people, you know, some people it will be the full 7 days, some people it will be within 3 days, back like really intense. And then equally, some, like I remember when I was on the implant, I actually went nearly 3 years with nothing, barely anything. So in that
Yeah,
sense, not knowing, not even having that that kind of visual indicator that this is a time, like I would just remember being very emotional and then being like, oh, but again, we shouldn't have these surprises come up on us, you know, we should,
right.
yeah. So I think
Yeah, the
this is also a
surprises
really,
are,
I'm guessing, an important factor that you take into consideration with your clients, because
yes,
just having like, oh, this is when the period is due, it's very different of how it's going to impact the person and the length of it and the, you know, the experience that they have. So,
yes. I map three energies, their emotional, their physical, and their mental,
beautiful.
because those three signatures have to flow together
Yeah.
so that they are at peak performance throughout the month.
Amazing. I love all that you're sharing. And I know there'll be many people equally as inspired as me. And I find it absolutely fascinating. And
Thank you.
just from speaking with you, you can just feel this really grounded, calm presence. And what more, like who would not want more of that? So
Right.
all your details will be in the description. Even if you are just curious, reach out to Annie, ask some questions, and you never know how this, well, not never know, you will know how this will really change and impact your life. It's been an absolute pleasure, Annie. Of course, if there's anything else you feel like would really benefit, that the viewers would really benefit from hearing, like please share it now. But I've loved connecting with you today. Thank you.
Oh, great. I actually have a course that takes
Yes,
them
yeah.
through the energy mapping called the Feminine Cycle Syncing for Business Mastery. And that kicks off the whole Productivity to Thrive Bootcamp,
Mm,
where they map their energies and then create a blueprint. I work with them one on one
yeah,
to create the blueprint that they can then apply to their business. And if they want to work further, then I help them actually in a separate one-on-one coaching, continue the process of aligning their map to their uh, business.
amazing. I love that. Thank you so much.
And
Is this like ongoing, or does this start at a certain date or?
it's ongoing. It's on the Great Discovery platform. and they can find me there as well as at AnnieSHarmon.com.
Super. Amazing.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Annie. And just before you go, if there is anything that you feel that someone listening right now would really benefit from hearing, what would you tell them?
I would tell them the door to opportunity is open. Join me because you'll have a new outlook on life.
Absolutely. Grab that opportunity, everyone, and please share some love for beautiful ladies, just like inspiring ladies, just like Annie, and subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Annie.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's the magic that Zest is in.